All right, so here we are. We are live. I said I was going to do this, so here we are. Here we are. Hey, what's going on, Brandy? We'll see if she's going to show up. I don't think she will. I don't think she's going to show up at all. If she does show up, she'll make it so I can't see that she's on here. Probably should have posted that in the Discord that I'm live. Yeah, you definitely can hide yourself. Because if I look at this, it says 7 people are watching right now. When I pull up participants, I see you, me, and Mazzy. What's up, Mazzy? Thank you for showing up here in my impromptu live here. Well, let's see if we can get some people in here first before I start going on what I wanted to go on here. Oh, there is my baby girl. And there's Kat. What's up, Kat? I'm still getting used to doing this whole live thing because it's weird because I have Streamlabs over here, which is live. So when I move on that screen, I'm moving in real time. But I'm looking at YouTube because the chat works better on YouTube, and it's like, I don't know, 5 seconds behind, I guess. I'm doing okay, Mazzy. I'm doing all right. I don't know if you know what's going on here, why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, but we'll see. We'll give it about another couple minutes or so, see how many people we get on here that are actually going to show themselves. Because to me, if you come into my live stream, you should show yourself so that I know you're there and not hide. You know, I mean, grow some balls. Let me know you're here. It says we got 11 people watching right now. Yes, it definitely does. Oh, hey, what's up, Jimmy? I haven't seen you in a while. Of course, I haven't been on here in a long time. But there's been some issues popping up people wanting to run their mouth. So I figured what better to do than call them out, go live and say, hey, let's talk this out like adults. You know, you're saying I said this and I did this, and I'm saying that I didn't. What's up, Tim? And so, you know, let's address this like adults, because she seems to want drama. I mean, you know, we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. It is what it is. People come in and you know, if I miss them, you know, somebody say hi to them or whatever. So back around Christmas time when I did the whole Dawson thing, one of the people who came out of pocket at me and started to run their mouth was the lovely Carla, also known as the Whore of Horror. I was cool with Carla. I was in her live streams. I've spoken to her in her live streams, and I was always nice to her. I've spoken to her. I had spoken to her in other live streams. We were Facebook friends. You know, I mean, we weren't homies. We weren't pals. Like, we didn't chat offline, you know, as far as I can recall anyway. I don't think so. But, you know, we were pretty cool as far as I know. And then the whole thing with Dawson came out, and it was like, I'm a piece of shit now. You know, I had a conversation with her on Facebook through Messenger because I saw the post that she put up because someone sent me a screenshot of it. Unfortunately, I cannot find that screenshot. I don't know where it's at. If I still had it, I would show it to y'all. But basically, it was just saying that, you know, I'm a piece of shit, and, you know, I shouldn't be, nobody should watch my videos and all that stuff, and I'm just riding coattails trying to get, you know, subs and views and likes, which, you know, yeah, you know. And it's funny because in this screenshot that I'm about to show you, she mentions Dawson again. Dawson and I are cool. Dawson and I got on, or we were in somebody's live. It might have been his live stream or whatever, or mine, or who, I don't remember, somebody's live stream. We spoke. We apologized to each other. I apologized for the video. He apologized for some things that he said. We're cool. You know, Joe and I never spoke on the subject, but Joe's been in a couple of my live streams, and he's spoken in there, and I don't have a problem with Joe. I didn't agree with what he did and what he said on my live stream. I addressed it. You know, again, I sent him a personal message, and then I did block him because I was pissed off. That was a childish thing to do, and I'll admit it. But I said what I had to say, and I was done with it. What's up, Ryan? You know, and that was it. And I hadn't heard anything from her at all. And I'll admit, I did go on to Matt Benton's post a couple weeks ago, and I did say to her, or say about her, I said, fuck her. And because what she did pissed me off. One, you trashed somebody's wife to the point that she was upset about it. You lied. You know, what's up, Stop Shadow? You lied about it. You called this woman out for scratching herself and telling people that she's faking it, when in the same video she said, I may have done this myself. But you made a video and trashed the shit out of her, and then you turned off the comments when they didn't go the way that you wanted them to go. So yeah, I commented on Matt Benton's post, and I told him, fuck her. And I stick by what I said. Fuck her. Because, you know, I don't know Matt Benton personally. I don't even think I've ever spoke to him. But Matt Benton is a soldier, or not soldier, he's a Marine. Sorry, Matt, if you see this, sorry. He's a Marine. He's a deployed Marine. And I've been deployed. I was in the Army 22 years. I retired. I was deployed 3 times. So I know what that's like. You know, and you get some downtime, but you don't get a whole lot, depending on what your job is and what you do in your respective branch. So this guy had to stop what he was doing and take time out to, one, console his wife because she's upset because this idiot trashed the shit out of her. And, you know, 2, he had to address the idiot. And the fact that she made this video trashing his wife and then turned off the comments because they didn't go the way that she wanted them to. You know, being a soldier myself, being a former service member myself, that pissed me off. So yeah, I wrote in the comments, fuck her. I never said fuck off. I said fuck her. Yeah, exactly, Brandy. She was a wreck. You know, I mean, I don't know the extent of it because I didn't follow that situation too far, because at the time I was dealing with my own personal shit. But, you know, I saw enough. And it's like, why? You see in the video where she clearly admits or says, I may have done this myself. I appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you. So you make a video and you shit all over her. Why? Because you want drama. And then I'm assuming somebody somewhere saw my comment and screenshotted it and sent it to you, and that's what set you off. Well, you know what? I maybe didn't say fuck off to you, but now I'm going to say it. Fuck off. Because now you've gone and put up a post about me where you decided it would be a good idea to say these things. And I'm hoping this is going to show up here. Hopefully y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? Okay, cool. So you can see Ghost is Paranormal needs to get effed and out of the community. He isn't anything but a drama starter. I made a video about Dawson. I did not attack Dawson. I questioned some of his methods and some of his equipment. I didn't attack him. I had numerous people say that they enjoyed my video and thought it was great. You know, of course there were some people that didn't like it, and I'll admit I used the thumbnail to draw out attention, and it worked. You know, so he isn't anything but a drama starter in YouTube and Discord. He was banned in a few Discords. That should say a lot there. I've never been banned in anybody's Discord. What's up there, Cult Life? I know I used to know y'all's names, but I can't remember it. I'm sorry. I apologize. I've never been banned from anybody's Discord. Never. That I'm aware of. You know, I mean, if somebody can show me proof that I was banned from a Discord, cool. So that's the first part. And then she goes on to say that she supported me in the beginning, and she did. Till I heard he was threatening to make videos on top debunkers like Seg and Beardo, and then went at Dawson and Big Bad Joe. So I never threatened to make any videos on anybody. And even if I did, why I would have made a positive video about these people, because they've been nothing but nice to me. When all that Dawson shit went down and Big Bad Joe came up and did what he did, all those debunkers came to my aid. They came into Joe's live stream and told him what he was doing was wrong, and then they came to mine. So why would I do that to them? You know what I mean? Like, why? Why would I do that to them? It doesn't make any sense. And then she says, if people remember him peacocking, which she capitalized cocking. I don't know, that's kind of funny, but whatever. Up to Joe and then cried like a bitch. I didn't cry like a bitch. Joe came into my comment section running his mouth, and I've made it clear ever since the beginning that A, I don't hide comments, I don't delete them, and B, if you have something to say, come into my comment section correctly, like an adult, and we'll address it. But if you come into my comment section sideways and start acting like a fool, then you're going to get met with the same energy. So, you know, I never said that she could F off. I mean, if I did, good. She can fuck off. You know, I've never threatened anybody. I sent a message on Discord to Beardo. He's not responded to it. I sent a message to Seg on Discord. Seg responded to my message and said that he watched my video and said, I don't know what's going on with her. I don't understand this. And I replied back to him, I don't understand it either. So, you know, Side Eye Guys replied to me and knows that this is bullshit. So I don't know what you're hoping to do. Ghost out ghosts. Like, that's the lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, it's childish. Threaten Beardo and you're on my bad side. I've never threatened Beardo. I've had conversations with Beardo on Discord in the past. about some pretty heavy shit. Not going to get into it because it's a personal thing, and you know, it is what it is. But I've had conversations with him. I've spoken to some of Beardo's moderators. You know, I've had conversations with a lot of people. So if I'm such a bad guy and, you know, doing all these things that she's claiming, none of these people will talk to me. You know, kissing ass ain't going to help you when people know you're a snake. Who knows that I'm a snake? You know, please, if you know that I'm a snake and you're in here right now watching this video, please come forth and say that you know I'm a snake, because I want to know what it is that you can say or you've seen or you've heard that can prove that I'm a snake. I really would like to know that. So that was posted last night, and from what I understand has since been deleted, which is what she did with the last post. She posted this thing, you know, Ghost is a piece of shit, blah, 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 fuck him, you know, whatever, and then deletes it. Because, you know, she doesn't think that I'm going to see it. Sweetheart, I see everything. You can't hide nothing from me. I know enough people in this community now that if you're running your mouth, somebody's going to tell me, obviously. So you can run your mouth on the Facebook page that I'm blocked off of. You know, that to me, that's shady. Why are you running your mouth about me on a Facebook page I can't see? To the point where other people have to screenshot it and send it to me so I can see it. That's fucking shady. You know what I mean? So you can say whatever it is you want to say and talk about me and talk about how I'm a snake. Bitch, you're a snake too. And yeah, I said it, bitch, because that's what you're acting like. You say I'm crying like a bitch? You're acting like a bitch. A shady one at that. I sent out the invite. I tagged you in this. If you want to talk about this like an adult, come in here and let's do it. Anybody that's in here that knows her, is friends with her or whatever, send her a message, tell her, get her ass in here and let's talk about it. Right? She blocked Becky and Becky's never even done nothing to her. You know, I guess guilty by association. It is what it is, you know. But if you know her, if you're friends with her, if you're cool with her, tell her, get her ass in here and let's do this. Let's talk about this. Let's be adults. Let's straighten this out. Because I don't want to do this shit anymore. I don't want to do the drama shit. You know what I mean? If I find something that's drama-wise and I inject myself into it because I have a feeling about something, then it is what it is. But I don't normally do the drama shit. I stay out of it. You know, I didn't do the Dawson video for drama. Okay, that's cool. She can be at work. That's fine. But, you know, point being that, you know, she comes and she says all this bullshit, you know, about me. And it's lies. None of that shit is true. I've never threatened any YouTuber. I mean, I don't know if any of y'all got it in with Beardo better than I do. Go ask him. Ask him if I've ever threatened him. Ask Side-Eye Guy if I've ever threatened him. You know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, that's never happened. Why would I threaten these people? They've been nothing but nice to me. You know, they've shouted me out. You know, sent people to my channel. So, I mean, what would that be? Hey, Andrew, I'm glad to see you in here, man. It's been a long time. I do appreciate that. Thank you. You know, and if she's at work, she's at work. I don't know that. I didn't know that when I started this. You know, hey, she can always unblock me on Facebook with her Horror of Horror account, and she can write me a personal message, and we can do it personally. Because if I remember correctly, that's what everybody said when I did the Dawson video. You should do this personally. You don't have to do this publicly. She's doing it publicly because she wants the drama. She wants to bring that drama. I don't know if she's bored. I don't know if she doesn't have a life. I mean, I don't know. I don't know this woman that well. But she's on here running her mouth about me. And I don't know why. You know, the issue has been squashed. But you're still going on. You're making up new shit that I never said. And then you're hiding it on a YouTube on a Facebook page that I'm blocked off of and can't see. So who's really shady here? Who's really the snake? And not only that, but you've got people turned against me, which I'm not understanding why these people, and we'll get to that in a minute, but these people are following this woman blindly. Because she made another post of my video about her saying that I'm a piece of shit and that she's not lying. If she's not lying, if you're not lying, Carla, where's the receipts? Where are the receipts at? Because I've got my receipts. That's the thing that I don't get. I'm asking where the receipts are. Why aren't all these people that are up her ass asking for those receipts? Well, you're saying he said it. Where's the proof at? Nope, they just follow her blindly. And we're going to get into that here in a second. I'm going to bring up some more little screenshots here of some things because, again, shit pissed me off. Yeah, that's really weird, babe. It's weird that she just came out of nowhere. What's up, Tim? Wait, I'm trying to look for a screenshot here. I'm going to show y'all in a second. Okay, yeah, this is one. All right, so I'm gonna pop this up on the screen for a second here so y'all can see this. So it'll take a second to come up. So some of y'all probably know this dude. His name on YouTube is AV Steve. I don't know AV Steve very well, but I've had, little bits and pieces of conversations with the guy, in different people's lives and stuff like that. And he seemed like a pretty cool dude. So I saw this and I was like, are you serious? Like, did you see proof? Steve, if you're out there, did you see proof? Did she show you proof that this happened? That I said all these things and did all these things? Like, I want to see the receipts. That's the thing that bugs me the most is that you come on here, you make these freaking accusations, but you have no proof to back them up. I got the receipts right here of you having all these people turned against me, and I can't understand it. I don't understand it. So, I mean, I spoke to Steve. I sent him a message because him and I were friends on Facebook, right? So I decided to send him a message. And so we're gonna get to that here in a second. Let me pull that one up real quick. Get it. Because like I said, I'm coming here with the receipts. So you'll be able to see my very short conversation with Mr. AV Steve. Steve, whatever the hell his name is. So, as you can see, I wrote him a personal message on Facebook, and I said, basically it's cut off, but it says, basically that the stuff she's saying about me is a lie. It doesn't even make sense. Why would I threaten the bigger channels? They came after, they came to my aid with Joe. If you choose to believe her, that's fine. I just wanted to tell you the truth. She's not proven anything that she says. Have a good one. He proceeds to lie to me and tell me, oh, I think you got the wrong person. So then I dropped a screenshot in there of him talking shit about me. And I said, that's you. And then underneath of that, he's like, gotcha. Yep, that's me. And then blocks me. So, I mean, it is what it is. But it kind of irritates me that these people are following her blindly. I don't know what it is. I mean, is she batting her eyelashes in her videos? I mean, is there shit going on behind the scenes? I don't know. But I'm not going to follow anybody blindly that makes claims like this. I want to see the receipts. I want to know. Is it true? Show me that it's true. Because otherwise, you're just talking shit. So, Steve, if you want to follow this chick blindly, fuck it. Do it, dude. If that's what you want to do. I mean, you've proven yourself. You tried to lie to me and tell me it wasn't you that said that. That said the stuff. When I hit you with the receipt, then yep, that's me, and block me. So talk about snakes and shady people. I mean, here we go. And there's a whole laundry list of people in the different screenshots from this post here that she made, talking shit about me. You know, there's somebody here that said haven't liked him from the get-go. Cool, you didn't like me from the beginning. I did something in a video, said something in a video you didn't like, and that's fine. But some of these people were subbed to my channel. Some of these people watch my videos. You know, I'm pretty sure Steve probably commented on some of my videos. And then because she, you know, bats her eyelashes or whatever it is that she does, and, you know, makes this fake ass post, now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, fuck him, he's shit. That's what I can't understand, babe. Is I don't understand why. Hey, what's up, Big Mike? What's going on? Yeah, Tim, that's what I'm saying. We talk it out like adults. I get that. And that's what I was trying to do here. I was trying to see if I could get her, you know, to come on here and talk. But obviously people are saying that she's at work. Okay. Well, you know what? She can send me a message. We can talk about this personally. I don't care. I just want to get the shit done with because I'm tired of dealing with it. You know, I don't care. But I have to come on here and I have to say something because it's happening. And I feel like I need to defend myself. And, you know, I've had a few people tell me it wasn't worth it. But to me it is because, you know, I'm a really tiny channel. If I had, you know, 50,000 subs and this happened, I wouldn't care because, you know, I might lose 10, 15, 20, 100, whatever. And it's not going to matter. I have 196 subs. We have 196 subs. Sorry, babe. And, you know, this could affect the channel. You know, and that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to affect this channel. And I'm not sure why. You know, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, maybe somebody else can make it make sense, you know. But like I said, you know, it says there's 23 people watching this right now. And there's only so many I could see in the participants. So some of her friends are probably watching this right now. You know. So if you're friends of Carla's, okay, Mike, that's cool. I'll do that. Thank you. If you're friends of Carla, tell her what's up. You know, tell her she is welcome to contact me any way she wants to. She can hop on Discord. She can send me a message on Facebook. I don't give a shit. Let's talk this out like adults, figure out what the issue is, and deal with it. Let's squash the beef. Like, it's stupid. I squashed my beef with everybody else. You're the only one left. You're the only person left that's running your mouth. You know, I mean, if the other people are, I don't know about it. I've not seen it. And if it was out publicly, I would have heard. Somebody would have told me by now. So I'm assuming that, you know, the other people involved aren't doing that. You know, I have no beef with Joe. I have no beef with Dawson. I have no beef with Dawn. I have no beef with none of these people. I'm not mad. You know, I straightened out that beef a while ago. And so, you know, like I said, Joe's been in lives. The lives that I did before I went on hiatus for a while. You know, we didn't argue. He came in, he spoke for a few minutes. You know, I said what's up. He said what's up, and he left. No big deal. I don't have no beef with these people. You're the only one that's left that keeps wanting to drag this shit out. And I had a whole plan that I was going to do with this live, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit here and do what I was going to do because I was going to drag her whole channel through the mud. And I can, because there's some suspicious activity on that channel, you know, and anybody who has half a brain can go look at her channel and figure that out on your own. You know, I had it pointed out to me today because I don't really pay attention to it. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't know what the point of this is other than just to create drama and try to, you know, crash my channel or our channel. You're not going to crash it. And even if you do crash it, we'll make another one. You know, it is what it is. You're not going to get rid of us. You're definitely not going to get rid of me. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say it. Shadow Band, don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Not gonna say I disagree with it, but I'm just gonna say I didn't say it. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I'm just saying. There's some questionable activity on her YouTube page. We'll just or YouTube channel. Maybe you're guilty by association. You know, that's not your fault. That's my fault. I'm sorry. You know, it is what it is. I've had multiple people say that. You know, and I'm not going to shout out names because I'm just not. That's not what I do. You know. And like I said, I'll go as far as to say that there's some questionable activity on her YouTube channel. We'll go with that. You know, I don't know. I don't really want to get into that. I mean, I already got enough drama to deal with, you know, and I know she's gonna send out the hitmen on me already for what I've already said, which is fine. Come on. Oh shit. See, oh, there you had see Carla, you had to go and do that. Now you got you got baby girl on you now. Oh shit. You getting fucked up now. What was the movie? Samuel Jackson looked at the dude and said, "You know you fucked up, right? You know you're gonna fucked up." Mm. Mm. Damn. Oh, you didn't want to do that. And now you've done it. You say what you gotta say. You go say, baby, you say whatever you want. I don't care. You know, and it is what it is, Mike. You know, I mean, I just don't understand it. I don't understand what you're, you know, you have 14,000 fucking subscribers. I have 100, or we have 196. 100, I'm not even 200. But you feel the need to shit on me? Why? Like, even if I, even after me making the comment on Matt Benton's post, why would you care? You know, you have 14,000 subs. We got 196. Why do you care what I say? Like, that's the thing I don't understand. You know, why are you looking way down here to where, you know, Ghost is Paranormal is to talk shit? You know, that's what I don't understand. Excuse me. And not only are you talking shit, but you're lying. Like, if you were talking legit shit, okay, maybe I could see that, but you're making up stuff that didn't happen. That's the part that I don't know, man. I don't understand. I really don't. Hey, you know what, man? It's Andrew. I get it. I maybe shouldn't have said some of the things I said, but it's me, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Well, I mean, bro, it seems like that's what she wants. So, I mean, I'll feed it for a little bit, and then I'll get bored with it, and I'll stop. But the reason that I'm here doing this is because I don't understand it. And so, you know, I guess like y'all are saying, she's at work. You know, send me a message somewhere. Write me an email. Ghostesparanormal at gmail.com. Do something. Explain to me why it is that you're doing what you're doing, because it doesn't make any sense. You know, again, I repeat, 14,000 scrubs, and you know, we have 196. Yes, I do speak my mind. You know, whether it's a good idea or not a good idea. You know, and I'm gonna do that because that's just the kind of person that I am. You know, Should I have called her names? Probably not. That was probably stupid, but it is what it is. That's fine. It's on a live stream. Go ahead, use it. You can use it for whatever you want. You can chop it up. You can make shorts out of it. I could give less than a fuck. I don't care. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look. Is there? No, I got no fucks in there to give. There's none. I could check the other pocket, but I promise there's no more. There's no more fucks in that pocket than there is in the other one. So I don't care. I really don't. I love y'all. Everybody that comes on here and watches the videos, all the subscribers, that's amazing to me. But if all this blew up tomorrow and it was gone, I move on with my life. Yeah, it'd be sad because I kind of like doing YouTube. I kind of like doing the videos. I kind of like doing the reactions and filming the investigations and putting them up here, and it's fun. But if she succeeds in getting the channel taken down, will we make another channel? I don't know. We'd have to sit down and talk about that. But I'm not gonna sit in a corner and cry about it. If we decide not to make another channel and keep going, it'll be what it'll be. I mean, I don't understand. I just don't get, like I said, 14,000 subs. And you're looking down here at Ghost is Paranormal with 196. And you're worried about something that I said on Matt Benton's post, which is the only thing that that I could think of that maybe sparked this. And you treated his wife like shit. So, yeah, I said, fuck her. And I stand by that statement. You made that woman so distraught that her deployed husband had to take time out of his schedule to sit down and make a post about it and address the issue. So, yeah, fuck you. That's ignorant. I don't understand it. Oh, I'm sure there's people in here, or they're lurking. Hell, for all I know, she's probably watching this right now. Or her friends are watching it right now, and none of them have the fucking balls to show their face, so they're just gonna lurk in here and watch it. Which is fine, watch it. I say grow some balls and say something. I'm trying, Brandy. I really am trying to. And let's not, I don't know Matt. I don't know Matt's wife. But like I said, being a vet and him being a service member, I understand what he's going through. And I would be livid if somebody did that to Becky. And I had to take time out of my schedule while I'm in a combat zone and fucking have to address a situation that some idiot trumped up for no reason other than to start drama and get some views on her channel. So yeah, I got a little out of pocket and I said it, and I'll stand by it. I didn't take the comment down. It's still there. If you want to go check it out, you guys are more than welcome to go look. It's there. I don't hide comments. I did that video about shit that she said yesterday. And one of the things I did, the first comment I made was, I don't delete comments, nor will I turn them off. You would have to say some really off the wall, foul type of shit. What's up, Jeanette? How you doing? You would have to really, really say some, I don't even want to address how far you'd have to go to make me delete a comment. So, comment away. You can comment on this live stream. I don't care. I just want you to stop. You know, that's my goal here. Just stop. Just leave me the fuck alone. Stop bothering me. Stop talking about me. You know, I wasn't talking about you other than that one thing, but you deserved it. And you know you did. So yeah, I said it. You know, but if you leave this shit alone, if you drop this shit right here, I'm going to say it live on this live stream in front of however many people are watching, 20, 30, whatever. I'm going to say it. If she drops the beef right here, if she leaves it alone, I'll give her time to respond to it. You know, a couple of days, whatever, because, you know, people have lives and they're busy. After that, if she drops the drama and the beef, I'll never say another word. I will never, I don't care what she does, what she says about people, I will never say another word about it. I'll never say another word about her. I won't make no public posts about her. I won't comment on no post. I will leave her the fuck alone completely. If she agrees to drop the drama and let it go. But if she continues to run her mouth, then I'm going to drag her. I will go down to that level. I'm that guy. What does it say? I'm your Huckleberry. I'm the one. You know, and you're right. Name calling's petty and stupid, and I shouldn't have done that. But, you know, I can drag someone without calling them names. I don't have to call her names. You know, I mean, it is what it is. It's, you know, I don't understand. I just don't. I don't get it. You know, let it go. Why do you care what I have to say? Why does it bother you? Is your life that boring that you care about what little old me, little minute, you know, Ghost is Paranormal says? I appreciate that, Andrew. That's what I want, man. I want it over with. Because if she keeps doing it, I'm gonna keep saying something back because that's the kind of person I am. I'm not gonna let someone keep sitting up here trashing me over and over again. You know, she stuck her nose in the whole Dawson deal when nobody asked her. Yeah, exactly. And Mike, I don't know Helena. I've never spoken to her before, but you know, like I said, to do what she did to her, and then you know affect a deployed soldier to be that pissed me off, and that's why I said what I said, and I'll stand behind it. And you know, if this stemmed from me saying that, then I guess I did start it, and that's fine. But I didn't lie. Nothing on that comment that I wrote was a lie. Everything that she said in her little post there was a lie. Hence the reason she took it down. It's not there anymore, from what I understand. I mean, I'll go on someone else's Facebook after I get off this live stream and look and see. But like I said, I'll give her a couple of days to respond. And if she doesn't respond, I'm gonna let it go. And I will leave it alone. I will not speak to her again. I will not speak about her again. And if I do speak about her, it'll be privately. Oh, oh no. I better apologize? Please, bro, get out of here. You do realize, whoever you are, I have mods in here, and if you don't watch what you're saying, they're going to kick you out. But don't do nothing to him yet. Leave him there. So, Andrew, what's the point of making the post if she's not going to respond? She's lying. You know she's lying. Nah, don't nobody. Hey, mods, chill. Don't let nobody. Don't touch him. Leave him there. Dude, if you're actually her boyfriend, she's a liar. She's a fucking liar. Her whole post about me is a lie. So maybe you need to sit down with your girlfriend, if that's who you are, if you actually are a boyfriend, and talk to her, because she's lying. She's dragging up drama for no fucking reason. So, Jim, if you are who you say you are, sit down with her and have a conversation, because if she keeps going, she's going to get drugged. I appreciate that, Mike. I'm just saying. And like I said, I don't have to call her names to drag her. I don't. But if she continues to keep talking shit about me, that's what's going to happen. Okay, cool. Exactly. All right, so if that guy Jim is in here and you mods want to get rid of him, make him go. Make him disappear. Bye-bye, Jim. Everybody say bye, Jim. Thank you for that, Andrew. I appreciate that, bro. Really. And hey, man, I hope that I see your posts and all that stuff, and I hope that things are gonna get better for you soon, man. I know you're going through some shit, but I want to be your friend, bro. I want to hang out with you, like we used to. I want to bullshit like we used to, man. Like, I know it's difficult at the moment, but if you need to talk, man, I'm here. Okay, you're talking to her currently. Then tell her to shut the fuck up and stop. What's up, Shape? Everybody say what's up to the Shape. Basically, bro, we're dealing with some drama that was started about me by a little I don't even want to say. I don't want to be ignorant, because I'm trying to not be ignorant. Carla, aka the Whore of Horror, has took it upon herself to make some posts about me and saying that I said some things that I didn't say. Saying that I threatened to make videos about Beardo and Side Eye Guy. I appreciate that, man. Really, I do. I do, bro. I do. Normally, I just come on here to have fun and laugh and joke, and we're going to get there. But I just wanted to come in here and get some stuff straightened out, because, apparently Andrew's talking to her, as we're speaking right now. And you can tell her that I just want it to stop. Just stop. Because if she stops, I'll stop. If she keeps going, I'll keep going. I'm that person. I don't want the drama. But I'll deal with it when it comes. And Shadow Band, you're right. That's what she does. I've seen it before, and other people have brought this to my attention. That she's done this before. It's not the first time she's done it. And that's the part that, upsets me, is that why, again, like I said before, why is 14,000 subscriber, Carla, worried about what 196 subscriber Ghost is Paranormal said? Make it make sense. I want to get back to the fun stuff. I want to get back to the reactions. And I mean, I guess, I don't know, people are calling me a debunker. I don't really think that I am. But, if you want to call me that, that's fine. That's the thing too. Babe, I think the reason is because of the Matt Benton post where I commented on it. And if that's what sparked this, then I'll be a man and say, hey, you know what? I probably shouldn't have said what I said the way I said it. So for that, I apologize. I shouldn't have said that the way that I did. I should have worded it differently. But like I said, you harassed the wife of a service member. made that man take time out of what he was doing. I just played the new ranch map yesterday. That was a lot of fun. But, you know, it's that's why I got upset about it and said what I said. You know, for one, she trashed this person's wife, Matt's wife, to the point where she was hysterical. And two, you made a deployed soldier in a combat zone have to take time out of that and address your shit, basically. You know, and when she made her video, she turned off the comments because they didn't go the way she wanted them to. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, Shape. I don't know if you're still here or not, but you know, this is a unique live, and they're not all going to be like this. You know, from after this, hopefully it's going to be just having fun and, you know, doing goofy shit and like I used to do. But I don't know who Ray Peter is. I never said I was going to make a video about Seg. I've already spoken to Seg about that. And Seg has watched the video that I made last night. And so, you know, it is what it is. I don't know who's saying this. Again, whoever, you know, if she's got receipts of me saying that I was going to make videos about these people, please show the receipts. Oh, what is the name of that song? Beth. Is that the song, Jimmy? I believe that's what it is. The Kiss song you're talking about. If I were ever going to make a video about Seg or about Beardo, they would be positive songs. Or songs, videos. Because like I said, those guys came to my aid when that whole thing happened with Joe. You know, and you know, it is what it is. It just, I don't know, I'm trying to read comments and keep my thought process going. Multitasking here. You know, it is what it is. You know, I don't know. I just want it to stop. I really do. Like, I don't, you know, I have enough shit to deal with personally at the moment. You know, I got back on here. I made another video. I had to cut the video I was recording last night short. Y'all see it. You'll see how it ends. And at the end of that video was when I received the post that she made about me. And so I cut the end of the video. And, you know, I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to edit that out. You'll be able to see it. You know, and I had made another video. But I already, so Ray, I don't know who you are. I'm assuming you're trolling, but I already did that. I made a video about Carla. Go watch it. You know, if that's what you're talking about. And I'm not going to make a video about Joe because I don't have a problem with Joe. You know, I wish that Joe and I could be cool again like we were before. You know, Joe is a guitar player. I'm a guitar player. Joe loves Dream Theater. I love Dream Theater. You know, I mean, we had some shit in common. You know, and we were cool up until he jumped into my comment section. Oh, okay, so Ray's not a troll. All right, cool. Well, I mean, welcome, Ray. Thank you for coming and hanging out. You know, we were cool. You know, we were Facebook friends. I was friends with his, I'm assuming still fiance, wife. I don't know if they're married yet or not. You know, I never had no beef with them. Oh shit! Hey, what's up? Hell yeah, Dream Theater is awesome, man. John Petrucci is a guitar god. You know, Shadow Band. I'm not gonna, cause I really don't want any more drama. You know, it is what it is. You know, I when I see things that are wrong, I call them out. You know, and I saw things in Dawson's, you know, investigation videos that I thought were wrong. You know, I saw, you know, techniques being used. I saw items or equipment being used, and that was the reason why I made that video. And Joe took it upon himself to come into the comment section and basically threaten me. And that's where I came up with the name Big Bad Joe, because he came into my comment section and, if I don't like what I see, I'm going to make a video. And what do you say? I'm a response video coming. And that pissed me off. And like I said, if you come in my comment section like an adult and you want to have a discussion, I'm all for it. But if you come in my comment section acting like a fool, then you're going to get the same energy. And, you're my other half. And, it would have to be something really crazy in order for me to not listen to you and do it. If you advise me not to do it, then I wouldn't most of the times. Andrew, that's the thing. Like, I never had an issue with him until he took it upon himself to jump into my comment section and try to bully me. Basically, and I hate using that word because I'm so tired of seeing it everywhere, but that's what happened. And like I said, there's no beef anymore. I'm okay with it now, and I don't care. It's already it was taken care of months ago. I don't have a problem with him. I wish that we could be cool again. Same with you. You're here talking, so I'm assuming we're cool again. So, it's stupid. Hell, I wish that Carla and I could be cool again. Even after all the shit that she's done, I would be cool with her. If she came out and said, hey, what I did was stupid, it was dumb, I shouldn't have, I'd be okay with it. No, it's not. It's not about Joe. But it's that kind of that was kind of sad to me because I liked Joe. I thought Joe was a really cool dude. Same thing with Dawn. I thought Dawn was cool too. Uncle Junk. You know what, Andrew, I appreciate that. And I told you when it happened that I appreciated that. But if you wanted to leave that up, leave it up. Most people have figured out that I'm on Facebook and that my name is David Michael. And the reason why my name on Facebook is David Michael and not my real last name is because Facebook won't let me use it. That's fine. I don't have anything to hide. I don't. If you want to come on my Facebook, then come on my Facebook. Everybody that's here is welcome to look me up. Send me a friend request. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I have nothing to hide. Yeah, Facebook is stupid. But, it blows my mind that, this woman had to do this. For what? What is she hoping to gain out of this? Other than to turn people against me. Which I don't care. Turn them against me. There's, according to what I'm looking at right now, 28 people watching this. Of those 28, 25 of them are probably cool with me. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. I really do. I just want it to end, man. I want her to stop. And if she doesn't stop, then I'm not going to stop. And it's going to keep going. Because I'm not that guy. I'm not, I'm not the one. Yeah, and that's what I think too. I think is that she's looking for attention. But like I said, how much more attention do you need? You have 14,000 subscribers. This channel has 196. I'm hoping to break 200, in the next week or so. That would be pretty awesome. That would be a celebration. I had a 100 sub celebration, so maybe we can have a 200 sub celebration. You know, I mean, I don't understand it. Oh my God, I have been in Facebook jail so many times, so many for the dumbest stuff, and I can't repeat some of the things that put me in Facebook jail on here, but you know, some of it's just stupid. Hey, what's up, Calandra? How you doing? Yeah, I kind of figured it was pretty late there. Um, this wasn't a planned live; it was kind of an impromptu type deal. Next week I'm gonna go back to that. So everybody that is here, whether you know you're telling me you're here or you're not here, you're hiding or whatever. Um, Next week I'm gonna go live. I don't know if Becky's gonna go live with me or not, but you know we'll see how things go. But I'll be more likely live next Thursday at the normal time that I used to, you know, 6 p.m. East Coast time here in the U.S., you know. And, hey, Calandra, since you're here, I just wanted to let you know, thank you for your comment on that last video. I got it wrong. And that's something I wanted to say. The last video that I did, apparently I was really wrong by saying that that place wasn't abandoned because of all the stuff that was left in it. You know, I still question it, but I had enough people from over in the UK come on there and tell me that that house could definitely end up looking like it does after it was left. So I got it wrong, apparently. And if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. I'm a grown ass man. I'm going to admit it. You know. Yeah, you're right about that, Calandra. I'm trying to, you know. I'm trying to get the drama done. Apparently, you know, Andrew was talking to her. And, hey, what's up, Firefox? How you doing? Thank you for dropping in. Apparently, some of the things I was saying were being passed on to her by Andrew, which is fine. You know, that's great. You know, like I said, I just want the shit to stop. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of, you know, the bullshit. I want to go back to having fun. I want to go back to being goofy and, you know, making goofy videos and, you know, doing the stuff that I used to do. You know, is there going to be a video every once in a while where, you know, I got to address some bullshit? Probably. But few and far between. Oh, I'm sorry. Foxfire. I can read. I promise. I think it was right after Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas is when it happened, I think. I'd have to go back and look, and I don't really feel the need to right now. But, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to have the fun stuff, you know, because, I mean, the Shape was just in here, and I feel bad that the Shape jumped into the middle of a live stream where I'm, you know, basically pissed off and, you know, ranting about something. You know, he probably jumped in, listened to it for a couple minutes, and was like, yeah, nah, I'm good, and dipped out. Yeah, exactly, Brandy. I want to be funny again. I don't want to have to get on here and drag somebody because they won't leave me alone. And, you know, like I said earlier, Becky's not the one that you want to piss off. So, I mean, I'm hoping she just doesn't get, if she says something or does something with this whole deal, it is what it is. She's a grown woman. She can do what she wants. I'm not going to stop her, you know. But once the drama is done, once, you know, she's agreed to be done with it and let it go, then it's done. And it's over with and it's gone. Exactly, Kat. That's my thing. I was doing that. You know, I recorded 3 videos last night. One of which was posted last night. A second one I did. I'm not gonna post. And then the third one was a reaction video. That's gonna get posted at some point. I gotta sit down and edit it. You know, I gotta play around with the editing a little bit more so I can avoid the whole copyright thing. You know, maybe I'll spin it around, slow it down, you know, whatever. But I want to address another thing that happened recently. Um, so I'm sure most of y'all here know who Paranormal Seekers Josh is. And before I even get into this and talk about this, I want everybody here that's listening to this to know, on record, I don't have a problem with Josh. I like Josh. He's a cool guy. I had a conversation with him earlier today. Good dude. You know, he had me on his live stream as a guest. Unfortunately, I just never got the chance to get him on one because of, you know, well, for one, I don't know how to really do it. I haven't figured all that shit out yet. You know, and two, I just never got around to it. He put out a video not too long ago about why he stopped doing paranormal. And that's cool. I mean, you know, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Josh. You know, and you know, I wish him well in his gaming. I've been on some of his gaming streams. He was playing a game that, you know, Becky and I were playing together. You know, but in his video, he said some things that kind of didn't really sit well with me. I know Beardo made a response. I don't necessarily 100% agree with that either. I don't necessarily agree 100% with what Beardo's response. You know, nothing against Beardo. I don't have a problem with him either. But so he made some comments where he said something along the lines that the debunking community is not together anymore. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mike. Um, and I have to you know, beg to differ with that because, you know, when that whole Dawson thing went down, all of those guys came to my aid. They went into Joe's live and told him what he was doing was wrong, and then they came to my live, to my video premiere. You know, and they didn't have to do that. You know, Mr. Gray was the one, I guess, that started with it. And then, you know, it everyone else came. You know, y'all just saw the shape in here a little while ago. You know, he doesn't have to come to my live streams. Who am I? You know, he doesn't have to come to again, like I said, Ghost is Paranormal, 196 subscribers. He doesn't have to do that, but he did. You know, and he's never had anything but positive stuff to say. You know, he's commented on my videos. You know, hey man, you know, maybe want to play with the sound a little bit. It's kind of hard to hear. He's given me advice. Beardo has given me advice. You know. So to say that the debunking community is not, you know, close like they used to be, I don't see it. You know, these guys have given me advice. Crow of Judas has given me advice. I've had conversations with Crow, both in his live streams and on Discord. You know, and I don't know. I will say that when I first heard about Josh through somebody else, I was told Josh keeps to himself. Cool. If you want to keep to yourself, fine. But if you're going to keep to yourself, then don't expect these guys to run after you and try to find you. You know, I know that Beardo, I know the other guys have shouted him out before. You know, I know that. But it just, like I said, these guys came to my aid when I needed help. And I didn't even ask for it. They just did it. You know, these guys have given me advice. You know, the microphone that you see right here, right now, is the same microphone that Beardo used to have. You know, he's the reason why I got this. You know, because I asked in one of his live streams, you know, hey, what is a good microphone to get? And he pointed out this one. And I said, cool. 10 minutes later, I had already ordered it. So, I mean, to say that, you know, they're not close. Yeah. I mean, are we up each other's asses? No, we're not. I mean, that's never going to happen, you know. But as far as I'm aware, they're all friends. They're all cool with each other, you know. And as far as I know, they're all cool with me. I've not done anything to piss these guys off. as far as I know. And if I have, I'm sure they'll let me do it. They'll let me know. And you're right, Calandra. I am respectful of his viewpoint, but I also have the right to disagree with it, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And again, I'm not shitting on Josh. I like Josh. Josh is a good dude. I don't have no ill will towards him. Like I said, had a conversation with him earlier today on Discord. And I'm sure someone will point this out to him at some point, and he might ask me about it, and I'll answer him. And I mean, it is what it is. If you keep to yourself, you can't really say that nobody's helping you out or shouting you out when you're quiet. Yeah, exactly. Like Beardo and Shape had a disagreement on the whole Pramgate thing. Beardo put out a video. Shape didn't agree with it. He put out his video. Beardo didn't agree with it. I don't know what's been said behind the scenes, but I don't see any drama there. I don't see them arguing about it. They just agree to disagree. It is what it is. I mean, Andrew, I don't see where they're where it's falling apart. I don't see that. I mean, maybe there's things going on in the background that that I don't know. I don't know. There could be, but I just don't. I don't see that. I mean, I've not seen that. I don't. And if it's there, I don't watch everybody's videos all the time. I'm bad at watching videos. I'm working. And I get back here. And, I might watch a video while I'm eating my dinner or whatever, but, I mean, I'm bad at it, But I did see a lot of the Pramgate videos because, I had time to watch those, and I saw that there was a disagreement there. But, publicly, there was no drama or beef between them as far as I know. Now, behind closed doors, there may have been. But, it seems they're adult enough to keep that behind closed doors. And not let it out in the public. So I don't know. I don't see where the community's falling apart. I see I see people getting irritated with other paranormal channels. That I see. But I mean, it's always been that way. And he also made a comment about people, covering the big channels. I've not really covered too many of the big channels. I think I did a video on... Yeah, right, they were respectful of each other. I did a video on the Foreman brothers. I did a short where I mentioned the twins. And as far as big channels... I think that's it. Most of the stuff that I've done has been on smaller channels. And I plan on doing some stuff with the bigger channels at some point. And it does bring the views. It does bring, eyes to the channel. But also, I want to do it because it's fun. It's fun. Those guys, when they do the twins videos, they have fun doing it. And I want to do that. I want to do that because it looks like a good time. So I'm going to sit down and do that. I mean, again, like I said, I don't see that. Yeah, probably. And I looked at CJ's latest video, and I didn't really see anything there to react to. Like, they basically just walked around a room, which looked kind of like a barn-ish type thing, and there were some bangs, and of course, CJ was doing his overacting thing, screaming like a girl. There was just nothing. The only thing I would have done was make fun of CJ and Sonny the whole video, and nobody wants to see 30, 40 minutes of me just making fun of them. They watch the video because they want to see proof that these guys are fake. So I don't know. Maybe if he puts out an actual investigation video there, I'll do that. You know, but like I said, most of the channels that I've reacted to are smaller ones. The one that I'm gonna probably post, I don't know if I'm gonna get it done tonight or not because I haven't even ate dinner yet, honestly, and it's already 7 o'clock here. Um, is a smaller channel. Sunny's awesome, man. So I don't know if any of y'all have watched CJ's latest videos. There's a bald-headed guy with a goatee in there. His name is Sunny. Sunny's a really nice guy. I've actually met him in person. Um, him and I spent about an hour talking about wrestling. Sunny's actually a pro wrestler that wrestles locally here in Delaware, Maryland area. And him and I talked shop for about an hour, hour and a half or so. And he actually gave us free tickets to go to his show. And while I was at his show, I was messing with him in the ring. I was yelling at him in the ring. And, you know, Becky's got a pretty funny video about that. But, you know, that's the thing. Like, I want to do a CJ video, but Sonny's in the video. I don't want to shit on him. Yeah, he has been, but there was a time, Mazzy, when he wasn't. When Sonny backed out of it and stopped doing it. You know, he was gone for like a year or two because of, you know, some issues apparently that happened. I don't know. But, you know, I don't want to do that, you know. And Mazzy, I don't know if you know that, but, you know, Becky and I both know CJ. We've met him. We've been to his Pocomoke Ranch. We've been inside the Pocomoke Ranch. We did an investigation video with Chris, who's one of his close friends. So, yeah, we know him. And then, like I said, I met Sonny. Actually went for a job interview at the auction that CJ runs. I interviewed for a job that I had no chance of getting, but I did it anyway. All right, we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, Kat, but sometimes you gotta go public and do it because I you know, she came at me publicly. She posted it on a public forum. If she would have wrote me a personal message, you know, and asked me, hey, what's with this and why'd you say this or whatever, why'd you make that comment on Matt Benton's post, I would have answered her. And, you know, I would have kept it to myself. You know, I would have told a few people, probably my Discord, whatever. You know, obviously Becky's gonna know. But as a whole, I would have kept it to myself. No, Mazzy, I don't necessarily like all the things that he does too, which is why I started to do the videos. Because the thing with CJ is that he's local to me and Becky, and the places that he goes to and does his videos at, he makes up stories about them that aren't true. You know, that we can find no information on to back them up. So at that point, you know, I started to want to make videos about him, and then when I finally put the channel together, I did. Chris is a cool guy. I like Chris too. Unfortunately, when I went after CJ, Chris kind of went along with it, and so, bro, I don't know what it is. I feel kind of like you're making excuses for her. What she did was go to social media and trash me and tell lies about me. That's not venting. She talked trash about me on social media. So, I mean, that's not venting. She ran her mouth. And, you know, she got a response and she didn't like it. So she ran her mouth some more. You know, if she wants to squash the beef, then I'm good with it. You know, it doesn't have to go any further. You know, I don't hate her. I hate what she did. Anyway. Yeah, I think the video, Mazzy, you're talking about was the so CJ and Sonny had done this video. It was called the Death Lake, and the Death Lake is actually a pond. That's about, I don't know, what do you think, babe? 10 minutes away from here, maybe, if even. A spot that I go fishing at all the time. You know, I used to go fishing there all the time. Um, you know, Becky and I used to go out there and hang out. You know, and so I know that spot real well. And he did this video basically claiming that somebody was killed. She showed the receipts. What receipts did she show? Ray Peter, where are these receipts? Where are the receipts at? If she showed them, where are they at? Silence. Okay. Well, I don't know. You're saying she showed receipts. I don't. Where are the receipts? I want to see them. But anyway, back to what I was saying. They did a video back there, and they claimed that there was a unidentified body recovered there. And you know, being that I go to that place all the time, I did some research on it, and I actually found a database that covers all unidentified bodies in the United States of America all the way back to like 1905, or I mean maybe even earlier than that. And I could find no record anywhere of any body having been recovered, unidentified or otherwise, in that pond. And they call it a death lake. It's a pond. I could throw a rock from one side to the other side of that thing without an issue. And so when I saw that video, it kind of pissed me off. Ahem, who what? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. And you know, not only did they do that, but then there were some people there. You know, it's convenient that she doesn't want to expose her source. So somebody came to her and told her that. That's rich. Okay. So again, that's called hearsay. If you didn't see it, if you didn't hear it, oh, you did? Hey, if you did, babe, I'm sorry. I don't remember that. I thought, because I did the research on that when I was at work across the bridge. But yeah, maybe you pointed it out to me. I'm sorry. My bad. But anyway, Andrew, it it's called hearsay. You know, if she wants to, you know, if whoever it is that told her what she's blabbing about is there, all right, cool. All right, y'all see it. She agreed to drop it. I'm gonna take your word that that's what she said. If she wants to address me personally and tell me, hey, it's over, we're good, that's fine. But as far as I'm concerned, you're telling me she agreed to drop it. All right, so there it is. It's over. It's done. The beef is squashed. It's done. Oh, yeah. I mean, she's got to keep me straightened out. You know, if it wasn't for her, you know. And yes, man, Andrew, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate you doing that because you didn't have to do that, you know. So I do appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, my better half definitely keeps me in line because sometimes I get a little out of control, you know, and I get a little off the rails. Or I have a coworker that likes to say out of pocket. So, you know, that's a phrase I think is pretty cool. But yeah, that Death Lake video, it really bothered me because again, like I said, I've been to that pond. We've been to that pond. God, I don't even know, hundreds of times probably. You know, we've taken her kids, Becky's kids, fishing there. So, I mean, there was never a body discovered in there. And then, oh, like I was saying, towards the end of that video, they made it sound like the people across the way were racking a shotgun and, you know, trying to scare them. There was no racking of a shotgun in that video. I mean, I didn't hear it. If it's there, I didn't hear it. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. And, you know, I mean, we were good friends, you know, before, and I'm hoping that we could be good friends again. And if you ever need somebody to talk to, man, hit me up. You know, I mean, it is what it is, you know, and she's right about that. You know, sometimes she has to slow me down a little bit. Oh, drunk chicks riding horses. Should I tell the story? You want me to tell that story? Oh my God, how long have I been going? Oh man, oh, we're reaching an hour and a half here. Oh man, I can't stay on here too much longer because I need to eat at some point. I mean, if I tell the story, everybody's gonna know. They're not stupid. All right, so here it was. It was late at night, and we went out to the pond. And while we were sitting out there, um, I think we got out of the car to smoke, and we were standing next to the car smoking. Out of nowhere comes this lady or this girl on a horse, and there was a guy sitting behind her, and basically she was drunk and she was lit and he was gone, like he was trashed. And she comes out there to tell us that we're not allowed to be there. And she proceeds to tell us that we're making a bunch of noise and people are trying to sleep. However, she came over to us from a party with a bonfire and blaring music. I think there was a fire out there, I think, or bright lights on or whatever, something like that. There was loud music playing. So you got on a horse to come and tell me to be quiet, us to be quiet, when we weren't making any noise from a loud party because people were trying to sleep. You know, and the shitty part about it was that she came over there in the middle of the night in the dark. She ought to have been glad that I wasn't carrying at that moment because she'd have probably got drawn on. You know, you run up on somebody in the dark in the middle of the night, you're probably going to get drawn on. And I told her that. I was like, you know, hey, yo, you can't just run up on people in the dark. And if I'm not mistaken, they left and then came back again. And proceeded to tell us once again that you can't be here. And I mean, to be totally honest, you're probably not supposed to be out there at night. I think the rule is that you have to be fishing in order to be out there past dark. You know, I normally am too, but I don't know, for some reason on that particular day I didn't have it. But, you know, we probably shouldn't have been there. But I mean, we're not hurting anybody. It's not like, you know, we were screaming and hollering, you know, not going to go there, but, you know, I mean, it's not like, you know, we were throwing rocks or screaming, you know, revving the engine, blaring music out the car. Oh yeah, I remember that. She did get mad because of that. Mind you, this was like 2 years ago. So I mean, details are a little blurry, but you know, it was just funny. Like, you know, we weren't doing anything. We were standing outside talking, and we're 200 yards away from them, or more, probably more than that. Yeah, she has a really actually both of us have each have a really powerful flashlight. And I mean, it was just hilarious. But getting back to his video, I seriously doubt that those people were racking a shotgun and worried about him. All right, we'll say 500 yards. We'll go with 500. But it's just, to me, it's stupid. You know, why come out there and say that to us? But anyhow, back to the video. The whole shotgun thing kind of irritated me because I seriously doubt that anybody over there was racking a shotgun. If anything, like I said in the video, you're out there with flashlights or camera lights, filming, and they probably saw it because those camera lights are pretty damn bright. I know because I own one of them. You know, they probably saw it and probably came outside wanting to know what the hell it was. And they were probably looking. Yeah, I've got a pretty bright light myself here, but it's just, to me, like, they made that video and it was just lies, and it's lies in my backyard, and so that's why I went so hard on CJ and all those guys, because they're lying. There was no body found there. If you go look at his videos where he talks about Burnt Bridge, there was no sacrifices there. There was no seances, no, satanic rituals. None of that stuff happened. The farmhouse, or whatever you want to call it, the Pocomoke Ranch, there's nothing there. I didn't have anything happen when we were there, and we were in that place twice. The first time for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, half hour. The second time we were there for a couple of hours when we filmed with Chris. Nothing happened. There was a couple of, questionable things that happened out at Burnt Bridge, but nothing like what this guy had happen in his video. Thank you, Kat. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I appreciate that. And hope you have a good night. Get some sleep. But they all the stuff that he tells in his videos are lies. The Honeycutt farm, as far as I'm aware, the Honeycutt farm is right near his auction house that he owns, the Delaware Auto Exchange. But in his videos, he claims it's hours away. It's not. It's literally right behind the auction. You can't really see it because it's hidden by trees and all that stuff. But from what I understand, that's where it's at. All the stuff that he has happen in his videos are fake. All the stories he tells about the background of his videos are fake. None of it's true. And it got to the point where he was making up stories and couldn't keep them straight. Yeah, exactly. You can't see it from the road. And I've wanted to go look at it, but I know him, and I know he's got trail cams and all that stuff, and I'm not trying to deal with that. I just wanted to see it. I wasn't trying to do anything with it. It's really not exciting. I mean, yeah, like you said, unless you like the beach and the outlets and all that stuff, the outlet shopping and shit like that. But I mean, once you've lived here as long as we have, it is what it is. We're used to it. But like, there's been so many videos that he's put out around here that are just bullshit. Purgatory Road, The lady in white. He claims there's a lady in white on Purgatory Road. We've been on Purgatory Road. We've done investigations together. I've done them by myself. I'm pretty sure she's probably been out there by herself once or twice. What's going on, Lorraine? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, he made some video talking about Lewis, Delaware, and how the population was going down since, whatever year it was he wrote in there. And that's a flat out lie. The population in Lewis is increasing. They're having to build more schools, more hospitals, more doctors' offices, more places, more apartments, more townhouses, more homes, because the population is increasing more and more. But in his video, he says it's been decreasing since whatever year it was. I don't remember the specific details. I just know that that's what he said. And it's like, why, dude? You get on here, you make videos, you tell lies about it. And you have people believing that it's real. To the point where they're fearing for your safety. And they're subbed to your channel and they're paying a monthly fee. They're buying your merchandise. And it's all a lie. And to me, I just don't get it. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing, what I'm doing and calling out what I'm seeing. Because, that's the reason that one of the reasons why I got, involved in that whole, well, I didn't get involved in the Jed situation, but I made the video, the reaction to the Foreman Brothers video that was at Jed's house. I did that because it pissed me off. And those two clowns are full of shit. And I'm going to do another video on them at some point in the future. But that video pissed me off. Glad I could help, Jimmy. Glad I could help. But, that's the reason why that video was made. It just, that whole situation pissed me off. The way they threw the camera in that woman's face. How they treated, Jed and his wife, girlfriend, whatever she is at this point afterwards. It's just horrible. And Andrew could speak more on that because he knows those. He's actually spoken to them personally. But, it was disgusting what they did. They faked that whole video. I'm barely able to debunk anything, and I was able to point out just about everything in that video that they faked. To walking out of frame and making noises. Yeah, I'd heard they are back together. I don't know, you probably told me that a while back. Mazzy, me too. Me too. I used to believe some of the shit that he said. And I used to watch CJ's videos. Not so much Omar and Mo Sargi. Not so much. Yes, I did see your interview with him. Matter of fact, I was watching it while you were editing it. But I never was a fan of Mo Sargi or Omar. And Mazzy, like you say, sadly that's what they're doing, and not necessarily them, but some of these people out there are basically going on to, yeah, they made her look like a crazy person. Yeah, that's definitely true. And then when she was upset and distraught, they stuck a camera in her face when she tried to get outside to get away from him to relax a bit and unwind herself. They followed her out. The dude followed her right outside, stuck the fucking camera in her face. I was so mad when I saw that. And because of the length of the video, I had to actually cut it out. Yep, that too. Yeah. I had to actually cut some of that stuff out because I wanted to show that in my video. I'm pretty sure I cut all that out. But some of these channels do that, and they make people believe that they can speak to their loved ones through these devices, you know, these phone apps and such. You know, and I know Andrew's done a video on the phone apps. I'm probably, or the apps and all that stuff. I'm probably going to do a video at some point on some of the gadgets and gizmos. I've been talking about it for a while, so that's probably going to happen. You know, and they, like I said, they make people think that they can contact their loved ones, and that's just not how it works. Yeah, you could hear it. You could hear cats in the background. You could hear like them walking around. You know, and I mean, I'm trying to bounce back and forth between two subjects here at the same time. So I also was told by people that they were drinking during that investigation as well. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't have any way to prove that. I think, you know, Jed had mentioned that they were both drinking. So, I mean, I don't know why he would lie about it. So, I mean, there's that. But, you know, back to the whole deal. It's sad how, you know, these people make these videos and make people believe that they can use these types of things to talk to their loved ones. All right, Mike, have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. But, you know, it and that pisses me off, you know, and I want to do more of the bigger channels, but I also want to find some stuff that, you know, isn't some channels that aren't big, because my whole premise of doing the reactions is not just to shit on fakers. It's also to point out stuff, you know, maybe, hey, instead of doing this, try doing this. You know, if you hear that noise, if it's a legit noise, go check it out. You know, don't stand there and talk about it. Go see what it was. Go see what caused it. You know, maybe don't rely so much on the gadgets and gizmos. Maybe just have your voice recorder out. You know, I saw something in the video last night that was really awesome that I've never seen anyone do before. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen anyone do this as far as I can recall. They did a EVP session, and instead of having themselves on camera talking, you know, hey, is there anyone here? You know, and then holding the recorder out, what they did is they cut all that and they just played the recording back of them asking the questions and then pausing. I thought that was really cool. That's a different way of doing that. You know, that was something I'd never seen before. You know, I don't want to just make videos to shit on people. Now, if I'm on doing Twin Paranormal, yes, I'm making a video to shit on them because it's fun to shit on them because we all know that they're fake and they're irritating as fuck. We all know that. So if you see Twin Paranormal come up under my videos, I'm going to be shitting on them. And it's probably going to be funny. So, you know, it is what it is. But, oh shit, I missed what Becky said about the $40 for a jar. Yes, CJ actually charged $40 for a fucking jar of dirt from the Pocomoke Ranch. You know, I don't move like I used to, but if I really wanted to, I could probably sneak up on that property and get a jar of dirt for free. Not that I would. I have no intentions of doing that. But I'm just saying, and people were buying it. That's the worst. People were paying $40 for a jar of dirt. And I'll never understand it. You know? And I was a member of his Motivated app, as was Becky. Becky had his shirt or hat or stickers on her car or something. I don't know, some of that shit. You know, I don't think I ever bought any of his merchandise, but, you know, I used to watch his videos. I'd watch them with her. Until I started to put things together. I'd be like, yo, hold on a second. That can't be real. Like, this guy's got to be acting. You know, there's no way that all these things are happening. But yet her and I go to the same spots he went to, and there's nothing. It's silence. You know, that's the thing that drove me crazy. You know, and but yet every time, you know, you're entitled to believe in whatever it is that you want to believe, but I'm that guy that's gonna point it out. You know, I'm I guess you would say brutally honest. You know, I can't sit here and tell you that it's not possible to communicate with spirits from the other side. I can't tell you that because I've seen stuff happen. You know, I've had things happen to me that would speak to the contrary. You know, on that. Um, I've never attempted to contact a relative of my own, and I don't think I ever will. But I can't sit here and say it's impossible. But I can tell you that the Foreman Brothers and Twin Paranormal and all these other channels are not leading you in the right direction. I can tell you the video that Andrew guy, Proving Demons, I guess it was, did, where he was using a Ouija board in that house that they broke it, that was fake. All of it's fake. That guy's not going to lead you in the right direction to be able to do those things. You know, they do those videos to get clicks and views so they can make money. You know, and unfortunately, people believe it. Yeah, exactly, Brandy. I have been to just about every location that CJ has filmed at around here, and I've never seen anything, anything like what happened to him happen there at these places. Never. You know, we've had some people question on people drive by, and you know that he in one of his videos he talked about a big black pickup truck. We saw that. You know, that's a thing. That's real. That was there. Yeah, I don't know. After seeing the Proven Demons guy break open a coffin and actually handle somebody's bones, I don't know. I just I don't even want to get into that because it's gross and disgusting. Yeah, I remember you saying about that, Becky. The $20 for the solo cups that he was drawing on. That's it's insane. I'm the same way, Andrew. I believe, and I mean I've had enough experiences to believe it. But if I see something that's bullshit, I'm gonna call it out because that's just the kind of person that I am. You know, and I don't have much of a filter, but I'm working on that. And you know, Becky's helping me with that because you know I need to not go as hard at people as I do sometimes. I need to, you know, make jokes in the videos that are lighthearted, you know. But that's also something that people need to understand. If I'm in a video and I'm making jokes, they're jokes. It's not meant to be taken serious. It's for fun. You know, it's meant to be lighthearted. It's meant to be, you know, poking fun at stuff. You know, if I get on there and I make fun of, you know, Twin Paranormal having, you know, face tattoos and, you know, different colored hair and shit looking all crazy, you know, it's jokes. You know, and we all know Andrew's a big fan of Twin Paranormal. We know he loves those guys. I guess that's one of those if you know, you know type deals. Watch the show. Oh, Jimmy, it was gross, dude. It was fucking gross. Like it really was. I, I heard about it and I was like, nah. And I went to go watch the video. I think Becky was with me when I watched it. Um, it was just, it was vile, dude. Like, I don't understand how that fucking video is even on YouTube anymore. No, now you don't. You did. Or they had issue. Well, I don't think they had an issue with you. I think their followers had an issue with you. Is what the deal was. But it was just a joke. Yeah, see, there you go. So go saying it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. She was sick to her stomach. I was almost sick to my stomach, and I've got a pretty strong stomach. I mean, I've seen some things, in my day that, would make most people vomit, and have nightmares. But, you know, it was just, it was gross. Like, why would you do that? And why didn't YouTube do something about that? Because that video was reported. I reported it. I know people reported that video because I was told, and I did too. I don't know if Becky did, but I definitely reported it, and they didn't do anything about it. I think he came out afterwards, and apologized for it. But I mean, there's some things that I'll take an apology for, and there's some things that I won't, and that's the thing that I won't. You can't apologize for that. I will, for always or forever, think about that whenever anybody mentions that guy. You know, I try to not think about it because the funniest thing I've ever seen in a fucking paranormal video was him with the fucking the bug assault gun, which I actually have one of those. That got me. I was pissing myself laughing. Like, I mean, I couldn't believe it. This guy's running around with an assault gun, claiming to shoot demons. That one got me. I was in tears laughing at this shit. And he was so serious about it too. That's what made it even more funny. Like, he meant that shit. Like, he felt it was, he was trying to make it like it was real. Like, I'm hunting demons with my assault gun, I don't know. Maybe this guy thought that he was, Sam and Dean or some shit. I don't know. I think a lot of the paranormal stuff that we see nowadays came from that show. I think a lot of that stuff came from that show. I think the whole ghost hunting thing came from people seeing that show. And if it didn't, I think that show had a big influence on it. Yes, they do hurt. And they definitely don't kill flies. Because I shot one at point blank range and the fly flew off. I missed a comment. Mazzy said, I watched the show that Cody and whatever his name is bought the school in Iowa. I about died. I lived in Iowa most of my life as a kid, not far from there. That school is not haunted. It never was. Oh, you're talking about Sam and Colby. Bought that school. Yeah. I've seen people do videos. He was missing Castiel. Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that most of those places, unfortunately, are crap. I mean, there was there's been multiple legit investigators that have been to the Conjuring House and had next to nothing happen. But yet the fake channels go there and, demons are tripping over themselves to throw shit at them and, set off all their devices. I mean, we saw a video, I think it was with Beardo, Seg, and I think Mr. Gray was in it, where they were at 30, or not 30's Drive, but the Ram Inn. Nothing happened while they were there. Nothing. Yet Colin shows up, from the Paranormal Files, and there's a sex demon. It's hilarious to me. And these people get mad when they get called out on their bullshit. I called out Colin on something a while back, and this dude had the nerve to say to me, we don't fake anything. I wish I could bring you on an investigation. Hey, when? When, bro? When? Let me know. I'm just saying, come to the East Coast and, you pick the spot and I'll be there. But there ain't going to be, you know, the freaking the gadgets, the gizmos. There's not going to be the spirit talker. The succubus attack. I remember that. And I mean, shit. At this point, they got spirit talker on a damn watch now. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I mean, it's just it trips me out. Real investigators go into these locations and next to nothing happens, but these other fake channels show up, and oh my god, the whole the buildings, like I said, the demons are falling over themselves to throw shit and make bangs and set off all their devices, and I mean it's ridiculous, and then get mad when they get called out on it. Yeah, that damn sucky butt never showed up. And like I said, it don't make sense. How do you get upset? Yeah, let me know how that works out for you. you know, you're gonna fake stuff. People are gonna figure it out. Today, um, with that whole deal with Beardo and the Lee the Tit and the magnet candle thing, to me, I look like a magnet underneath the table. You drop a washer in the bottom of that candle, nobody can see that. I mean, you can heat that candle up, melt it till it's liquid, drop a washer in the bottom of it, and then let it dry again. You put your magnet underneath the table, you move it around, there's your candle moving. I mean, it's a real easy thing to do. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but if I was going to do something like that, that's how I would have done it. But, I mean, you know, you do these things in these videos and you expect not to get called out for it. And then when you do, you want to act a fool. And if you don't act a fool, in the case of Andrew, your fans act a fool. You know? I don't know. I don't understand it. But I mean, hey, keep doing it. Because, you're giving me things to do, videos to look at. You're giving me laughs to have. Yeah, there is a little bit of metal at the bottom of the wick. I don't know if that's enough to attract a magnet though, through the thickness of a table. You'd have to have a really strong magnet for that. Hold on, man. Hold on now. Hey, hey. I'm joking. I don't care. You can say whatever the hell you want on here. Don't bother me. Um, I mean, maybe it could, but I would think that that little tiny piece of metal that holds the wick up or secures the wick to the center of the candle, you know, I would think that maybe it wouldn't be enough. But I mean, you could glue a washer to the bottom of it. Yeah, exactly. Um, I know if I'm not mistaken, those T candles, the actual candle holder is aluminum, which is not magnetic. It or what from what I read, it is, but it's so very very low that it wouldn't, using a magnet through a table. Oh, hey, what's up, Rebecca? I don't know. Again, I only watched a few minutes of the video because I was at work. So I mean, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and actually, watch the video again. I think he addressed it in his live stream earlier, but I was only on it for a few minutes, enough to say hi, and what's up to everybody. But you know, that's the thing that sucks. I can't really catch these lives. Oh, okay. Kenny Biddle did some videos on it. All right, cool. I'll check those out. You know, a lot of these guys in the UK and you know, like in Australia and all that stuff, they go live when I'm at work. And so, I mean, I can't watch their lives. I wish I could. Yes, definitely. They're very strong. But you know, there's some stuff coming. There's some videos coming. You know, you guys see Becky in here, so she's back, obviously. You know, love of my life. You know, she's gonna be doing the investigation piece with me, and then once we, I guess, have our own place, I'm gonna see if I can talk her into doing some reactions with me as well, because she points out stuff in those videos that I don't even see. You know, so I mean, I definitely want her to help with that. You know, this is her channel as much as it is mine. You know, and I definitely want her to be involved as much as she possibly can. You know, or wants to be. You know, it's fun, you know, doing investigations with her because you know she makes jokes and you know we both make jokes together, and when we're doing it together, it's more fun. You know, the first couple of videos on this channel, they were boring as hell because I'm out there by myself, walking around in the dark, you know, talking to myself. And they were boring, and the views show that. You know, I get more views off of the reactions than I got off the investigation videos, you know, but you know, it is what it is. Um oh, I want to do I'm going to go here in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to shit, where did I put it? I wanted to show some stuff that was sent to me. I do talk to myself. Well, some that was sent to me, some that was sent to us by people who. No, she doesn't really like to be on. I mean, yeah, that's up to her. I mean, she'll be on the camera. Problem is that she doesn't like the light in her face. But anyway, I wanted to show some of the things that you know were sent to me and sent to us by some people that are in here right now. So I'm gonna start with this because I did show some of the stuff in a video, the recent video that I put up. But one of the things that I didn't show in that video, which is pretty damn cool, is this right here. To bring it in closer because of the shadow, you guys can see it, or not shadow but reflection. That is a Ghost's Pop. That was sent to me by Brandy, who is rather awesome. Have a good night, Mazzy. Thank you for stopping by. You should wear sunglasses. It could be your thing. So that was one thing. And then Brandy also took it upon herself to do some. I think she's on here, so she can correct me. Diamond art, I believe is what it's called. Hopefully, you can't see my mess. So, see if I hold this back a little bit further, maybe it won't be as bad. Yeah, see, you can see it. So we'll kind of do it this way, so you can see what it is there. Yeah, I had it upside down. I'm seeing that now. But anyway, um, that's one that she did. Um, that she sent for both of us, and she actually wrote on the back of it. So there's that one. Oops, I just popped something and I didn't mean to. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. So that was the first one, and then I had mentioned to Brandy that Becky was a big fan of turtles, and so she decided to make first this picture, which is actually really, I like that one a lot. That's really cool. I'm trying to see, you can see it without the reflection. I need to get better lights, but right now I just don't have the money to afford them. So I basically have a desk lamp that's propped up on top of the monitor above the camera. And then she also did this one. Oops, I'm gonna get the right way here, which is really cool as well. And she actually wrote on the back of this one, it says, "To Becky, someone told me you love turtles. I hope you enjoy these. Sincerely, Brandy." So, Brandy is absolutely amazing. And I don't even want to know the amount of time it took to make these. Like, I would never have the patience to do something like this. I would probably end up throwing it across the room and setting it on fire. And then there's one more thing, and I want to give me a second, y'all. Just give me 1 second here. So there was one more thing that I was told this was from everybody in the, or a couple of people in the Discord. They got together and they made me this cool shirt. And if you can't read what it says Black Sheep of the Paranormal. You know, that's awesome. You know, and I want to say thank you to Brandy for the art, and thank you to whoever was involved in the whole t-shirt thing. I'm not sure who all that was. I know she was one of them. You know, that's amazing. Like I said, you know, when I was talking about the situation earlier, you know, this channel is small. There's only 195 subs. There was 96. I guess I lost one during this live stream. So, it is what it is. Who would have thought that, you know, people would send stuff like this? You know, that's amazing. Thank you, Brandy, and the rest of you guys. You know, I mean, that's amazing. You know, and that right there inspires me to want to keep making more videos. You know, and when we get a place, those pictures will definitely find themselves on a wall somewhere in that place. You know, and like I said, that's what stuff like that inspires me to do. Yeah, I know. Dude, I try not to pay attention to that shit, but I mean, the goal is 1,000. If I could get to 1,000, I'd be happy. And then I don't care after that. You know, I don't ever see this channel being monetized. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't care. You know, YouTube's never going to be a source of income, or be the only source of income. You know, I'm just not that good at it. You know, I'm not that good at editing videos like you guys are, and, you know, Beardo and all those guys. I'm just not. You know, and I don't know that I'm ever going to put that much effort into it to get that good. I just want to do You know, I want to have a good time making the video, and then I want to just slap it together and put it up. You know, I don't have the want to spend 4 or 5 hours in front of the computer, you know, sitting there editing that stuff. Brandy, you don't have to do anything else. You've done enough. You don't. I mean, I can't stop you, but you know, you've done enough. You have enough personal shit going on right now that you need to deal with. Don't worry about that stuff right now. But you know, I just don't think I'm ever gonna want to do that, to spend that amount of time to sit there and make those beautiful videos that people like. And I know his shit is fake, but the Paranormal Files, Colin, puts out some of the best videos I've ever seen. Yeah, I remember that dude. But, you know, he does some of the best work I've ever seen. You know, The Shape with the the anime, or the what do you call it? Animations. There you go. Word was, you know. He does some of the coolest animations I've ever seen. Some of them are a little over the top, but you know, I mean, for the most part, they're pretty cool. You know, I don't really want to do that. I just want to have fun. You know, and that's, you know, yeah, and like I said, I don't know. Maybe her and I together doing the editing, maybe we'll do some stuff like that at some point. But I don't really have the want to have to spend that much time in front of the computer. I don't think I have that much free time to spend in front of the computer. You know, when I do a reaction, it takes me about 20 minutes to edit it. You know, I go through it, I listen to, you know, the highlights of it. You know, when I'm doing the video, I'm pretty much paying attention to what I'm doing. So if I make a mistake, you know, I know where to go find it at so I can take it out. You know, and I mean, yeah, I've learned from other people that I need to start playing with these reaction videos and flipping them backwards and speeding them up and slowing them down, and you know, taking them off the screen more often so I avoid the whole copyright thing, you know. And that's what this video that I just did, I was going to edit it tonight, but it's already 8 o'clock and I haven't even ate dinner yet. I've been on here for over 2 hours. Um, yeah, I had intended on doing a documentary about an area around here. Um, I had started putting together some stuff for it, but you know, life happened, and you know, other things had to be put forward and addressed and taken care of. You know, and I mean, I know Becky knows what I'm talking about. Um, I think I'm gonna try to do that, put that documentary together at some point. I know I probably want to refilm the investigation that we did there, because it was, I don't know, it's probably almost 2 years ago at this point, year and a half for sure. Um, but yeah, I've been on here for over 2 hours. You know, and for those of you that have been here the whole time, thank you. I appreciate that you took time out of your life to sit here and watch this live stream, our live stream. Because, like I said, this channel is hers as much as it is mine. You know, and we're a team. Even when she pisses me off. Yes, Maggie's Bridge. You know, and I'm sure I piss her off plenty of times. But, you know, we're a team, and this is a team effort. And if you hear me saying my channel, you know, it's not intentional. It was mine for a while, and, you know, she wasn't involved in it, so I catch myself. You know, it's our channel. Go look at the description. You can see it. But I do. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, you see my face more. Which I don't know why you want to see. Nobody wants to see my face. I'll have to look into that. Like, her face is so much more prettier than mine. You know, but you know, she's not a big fan of being on the camera, and I'm okay with that. But anyhow, so we're gonna go ahead and end this one here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you again, Andrew, for helping with taking care of that situation. And I don't know if Shape's still around or not, but hey, we ended on a positive note, bro. If you're still out there, we ended on a positive note. And with that being said, y'all have a good night, good evening, good day, wherever it is you're at. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And like I said before, we're going to try to do this every Thursday. This was just an impromptu, given the circumstances. And, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and